What is up, lads and ladies? I was live over the weekend and I shared my song Took a Blow to the Heart a few times for people who haven't heard it or didn't know like where it was or whatever, so I hope you enjoyed that. I was singing as well on Saturday, and yeah, it's hard to sing when you live in an apartment block, and then I had like guards up to see if I was alright and stuff like that, which was really nice, you know what I mean? I didn't choose this life chose me. What? But the reason I'm on here now is because I want to talk about like what happened at the Oscars. Everybody's giving like Will Smith a load of slack, you know what I mean, for what he done and all, but what people don't realise is like shit like this happens on the streets all the time. No man wants their woman being disrespected, even if it is for a punchline. Especially when like she's dealing with like a medical issue, you know what I mean? It's not her fault that she has alopecia and it shouldn't have been like a joke. And Chris Rock is meant to be like one of the best comedians on the planet, like, and I think it was like a very lazy joke. I think he could have like put a bit more work into like his dialogue and kind of like, you know, made a joke about something else, you know what I mean? But I have to say, like, yeah, shit like this happens all the time on the streets, and you know, like I've seen lads slap the head off each other for less. So I have to say, like, chivalry is not dead, and it's nice to kind of see like men out there still like taking care of their wives, protecting their wives, defending their wives. I know what Will Smith done was wrong, and I know that like there's talk of Chris Rock suing him for 200 million, but Chris Rock won't sue him, so so yeah, Chris Rock isn't going to sue him, and at the end of the day it was the Oscars, so for all we know the whole thing was staged and it wasn't real. So just go back and like actually watch the clip and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I think that the whole situation is after highlighting a part of the world that a lot of people like to ignore, and that is like violence. And to see the Oscars allow that to happen in order for Will Smith to be able to talk about like why he done it, why he was sorry, you know, things like that, it kind of opens up a gap there for people to talk more about what's going on in society. So even though like people are saying, oh, that shouldn't have happened, that was on national television, that was at the Oscars, how did that happen? We have to remember like this does happen every day of the week in normal life, and it's not unusual. And myself personally, I was attacked, and you know, nothing happened to that person. They got away with it as far as I'm concerned, and that's just what happens in life. And sometimes you just have to know when to take certain steps and when to just kind of sit back and let the world go by. I'll always respect Will Smith. He's like he's one of my idols. I watch a lot of his motivational speeches. I've liked everything that he's ever done. He really is one of the top class acts of society. I want to bring in Jim Carrey now. So Jim Carrey was questioned about what happened at the Oscars, and he basically said that he did not agree with what Will Smith done, which is fair enough. I don't think anybody agreed with what Will Smith done, to be honest. And he said that if he was Chris Rock, he would have sued for 200 million because that clip is going to be online there forever. It's never going to go away. And I can see where Jim Carrey's coming from, but he also said other things about Hollywood. So you can go check that out. I'm sure it's online and you can find it. But like the main reason for this video is I want people to realise that like this shit happens every day of the week, right? Just because it happened on the Oscars doesn't mean that it should be an outrage. Will Smith apologised. He knew he was wrong. He let a moment of madness overtake him. And what I can't understand is like when he walked up there, like how come no one done anything? Like, do you know what I mean? Like he just walked up casually and done what he got to do and walked off. And Chris Rock was just like, what? So yeah, like I just wanted to shed light on it because I think it's like the biggest thing that's happened at the Oscars in a long time. But every 98 years, someone gets slapped at the Oscars. I don't know if it's like a ritual or if it's like a humiliation thing, or if it's a way for people to get like pulled back into the Oscars, like a publicity stunt. But every 98 years, someone gets slapped at the Oscars, and you can check that out as well. I don't know, like, I mean, I've been watching the reactions of like some of the celebrities that were at it, like from different cams and different angles and what was going on, and like the whole lot of them were shocked. Like nobody was prepared for that, and the way Will Smith just casually walked up and just that was it, like, and walked off. But I have to say, like, you know, when I see things like that, even though it's wrong, it's nice to see a man standing up for his wife. It's nice to see a man defending his wife. Because we've gotten to a point in society now where like women are just treated like sex objects, and it's all to do with like OnlyFans and things like that. You know what I mean? And it's nice to bring back the realness into the world, and like the realness that we're bringing back is like, don't mess with another man's woman. Don't talk about another man's woman. You know what I mean? Like you have to keep it intact, you know what I mean? And I'm sure there was many other jokes that Chris Rock could have like had and said that he didn't. So I don't know. No, I like Chris Rock too, so I'm kind of like stuck in the middle between both. But I really hope that the whole situation is resolved and we'll get to see them at like Jada's red table and they'll have a talk, and we'll finally get to see what the story is. You know what I mean? But personally, I think this was just like an agenda that was set up in order to talk about violence in the world, and also talk about how people do things and they get away with it on a regular basis. I think Chris Rock is a bigger man because he didn't retaliate. He took the slap and he just continued. And to me, it's a real G, and he is like one of the elites, because that could have turned nasty. You know what I mean? And then I was sitting there thinking, like, imagine Mike Tyson was like hosting the Oscars and he took a slap at Jada. Like, would Will Smith have got up and slapped him? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Imagine Conor McGregor was hosting the Oscars. The Oscars, would like Will Smith have got up and slapped him? I don't think so. But at the end of the day, like, we just have to be thankful that chivalry is not dead, and that there is men out there willing to defend their women. And even though what happened was wrong and people don't agree with it and they think it was terrible, at the same time, it's opened up an avenue for people to talk about violence. It's opened up a pathway for people to talk about like what's bothering them, how to heal. I have to say I was a bit shocked myself, because Will Smith is a very motivational person. Like, he's not one to let like emotions really get to him, and I think like before the Oscars even started, he was going through something himself, because I watched a lot of clips of him before the Oscars, and you could see in his eyes and his body language and his demeanour that there was something wrong. It's like there was something bothering him. I'm not sure what it was. Hopefully he'll come out and he'll talk about it. But I'm glad to see like everybody's kind of like moving on from that, and like Will Smith went to an after party, Chris Rock went to his after party, and everything was grand in the middle. Do you know what I mean? And there's been nothing said about it really since Will Smith apologised. Whether Chris Rock has accepted his apology is another story, but I'll keep you updated there. So like the main reason for this video is just to say, like, watch what you're saying about women. Like, you might be able to bully a woman, but I'm sure there's a man there that loves that woman and cares about that woman enough to like not take no shit from nobody. Now, in all fairness, it would have been cool CJ to get up and slap him instead of Will Smith, because in all fairness, it was her he was like throwing the joke at. But their whole persona is live, laugh, love, you know what I mean? And Jada is one of them. She's real like love and light, and let's like fix the world and let's talk about our problems and things like that. And then I'm seeing lots of memes going around of like Jada was in love with Tupac and this, that, and the other, and then there's like things going around that like Will Smith was the reason Tupac got shot because Jada was in love with him, and it's just getting really deep. Like, the dive is deep. So I'm gonna like look into more of that, and I'm gonna talk about it more, because I think this is very interesting. Like, it's something that hasn't happened in a very long time. So yeah, like, I don't know, like, I mean, comment below what you think. But at the same time, like, Will Smith's been put through an awful lot. Like, he's been put through an awful lot in his lifetime, and you know, like, he's married to a woman that like he didn't even have like he's been married to a woman that was basically in an open relationship with him, you know, and like, I mean, that has to be hard to swallow. Like, if you're in love with somebody and they want to be in an open relationship, or you love somebody, or you know that they're in love with someone else, like, that has to be a hard pill to swallow. So I think that was just his way of like stepping up his game and proving like, that's my woman, don't say nothing, smash, smash, walk off. So anyway, I'll keep you updated. I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos of what's going on and what people's opinions are, and I think like because of that one because of that one thing that happened at the Oscars blew up everywhere, like on TikTok, social media, like everybody's been talking about it and being pulled back in, and it was kind of dying for the last few years. Like, I know people were still going to the Oscars and people were still getting awards or whatever, but it wasn't really in the public eye as much as it was. It was kind of dying down, do you know what I mean? So I think this was also another way to like pull people back in. And my main reason for that is because like Chris Rock isn't suing Will Smith, came out to say sorry. And if you really watch the clip, it doesn't look legit. Like, it really doesn't look legit. You have to remember they're two actors and they know how to do certain things for the television to make it look real. So that's all I really say. I think Chris Rock's a legend. I think Will Smith's a legend. I think Jim Carrey's a legend. And everybody has their opinions. And at the end of the day, like, it's just a talkability factor. There's other things going on in the world that are more important than Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Antarctica is after heating up like massively in the last week, which means that it's melting faster. We have put a black box on the planet to record the end of civilization in case anything happens, so another civilization in the future can find it. There's so much going on in the world right now, and the fact that like the Oscars is like trending everywhere has my mind blown, because there's so many things like actually going on the planet and in the world that like really do need to be talked about, you know what I mean? And these other things are just there to kind of distract us. So keep being distracted if that's what you want. That's fine by me. I'll get involved and I'll talk about certain things, but you know, my main goal every day is to bring information to people about like what's going on the planet, like what's going on in the world. And you know, like Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, it's not the end of the world. Do you know what I mean? It's just something that happened and we'll all get over it. And another thing I'd like to say as well, like, don't live your life to impress people, because when you're dead and gone, people forget. So live your life to impress yourself. That's really it. Peace.